This is definitely my first live from my phone, so hope it works. I don't know, I've never done this. And if no one pops on, I have a whole thing of laundry over here that I'm gonna work on. So I can just sit here and watch myself fold laundry. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up comments on the side so that I can read as I'm talking. Hopefully that should work. Okay, so I took a couple polls through Instagram and YouTube to kind of see what you guys wanted me to talk about. I'm in a super busy season of life right now, and so there's lots I could talk about. Hey, Katie. And so through the polls, I saw that most people wanted biblical womanhood stuff. And then, but a close second were kind of homeschool and just an update on my life. So I'm going to kind of do all of those because they all kind of fit right now. Just to catch everyone up, I am expecting our fourth baby. I am due in November, and so I'm 20 weeks along right now. And everything is going fine as far as that's concerned from what I know. I am, because of this baby, moving in July, coming up very, very soon, like the beginning of July, and have an entire house to pack and finalize all the paperwork on the house that we're selling and the house that we're buying and all of that fun stuff. I am also helping with my sister's wedding. Hey, Anna. She's getting married in September, but I just got back from her bachelorette party. It was like a big weekend shindig. And then I am planning with my other siblings her bridal shower for 2 days after I move. So I don't know, guys. It's just how the cards fell. So and then to top this all off, I went out of town this past weekend and I come back to a husband with COVID. So that's fun stuff. So we've been quarantined, and if you can't tell from my voice, I may or may not have it. Hey, Leilani. And yeah, I mean, I don't feel that bad. I don't feel that good either. The biggest thing is I have zero energy and I have a headache, and because I'm pregnant, I can only take Tylenol. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate all the prayers I can get. And Tylenol just sometimes doesn't cut it. So, but there is like a lot that the Lord has been teaching me through all this. There is a lot that I'm learning. And one of those things is, as much as my very type A personality doesn't like to admit it, homeschool can wait. Like, we're year-round homeschoolers-ish, and we still have some stuff to finish up for this year. And I had every intention of, okay, every day I'm going to do an hour of school, and then I'll do an hour of packing, and then I'll do an hour of YouTube stuff. And, you know, like I had this schedule in my head that I was going to keep. And more often than not, we're not keeping it. And I hate that. But I just feel like a bird just hit my window. I'm sorry. That was really scary. I just feel like the Lord's like, okay, now you have to rest. Like, now you have to stop. Like, the homeschool books aren't going anywhere. Unfortunately, they're going with us everywhere we go. And so it'll still be there. And if we need to take a couple weeks off to get our bearings, then that's what we're going to do. And so that's all I have to update you on homeschool stuff, is that we are just, much to my chagrin, putting a big fat halt on it. I just can't do it. I can't do it right now. So hopefully in July we will be picking that back up at some point. Let's see. So the first thing that I learned during any busy season, or I won't say I learned, I'm reminded of during any busy season, and this one is proving no different, is that God is so extremely faithful. I'm going to try to get through this video without crying. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. But you know, in Psalm, I think it's 37, it talks about, you know, I've never seen those who love God forsaken. I've never seen their children begging for bread. And like, hard times do come, whether you're a believer, whether you're not. Like, life is not a box of chocolates, no matter what Forrest Gump says. It is, I mean, you never know what's going to come at you. But the one thing that doesn't change is his faithfulness. And he's been so faithful to me during this season. As a lot of you know, if you've been around for very long, I struggle with an anxiety disorder. And typically in times like these, like, I go off my rocker. I mean, I'm not like, you know, straight jacket in a corner type of crazy, but like, this is when the panic attacks happen. This is when all of that starts to creep in, and it hasn't this time. The Lord's just been super, super kind to me. And I'm just learning that not only is he faithful, but I am limited, and I can only do what I can do, and he can do the rest. He's more than willing to do the rest, and definitely more than capable to do the rest. And so, you know, with my husband quarantined in our room, and I'm out here with all 3 kids, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just take this time to pack and do all these things. And like, now I'm not feeling good, and I'm like, I can't pack. I can't do school. Like, what do I do? And I just feel like the Lord's telling me, do what you can, and then trust me for the rest. And so, for my personality, that's hard. I don't like to rest. I don't like to not be being productive when there's things to be done. I hate that, actually. But God is saying, it's okay. It's okay. And I just have to trust that. You know, and I've not felt good for a couple of days, and I've just kind of been pushing past it and just forcing myself to keep working, keep moving. And like, scientifically, I know that's not great for my body. Like, if your body is telling you to rest, there's probably a reason for that. But then last night I was like, I literally can't do anything. Like, after dinner, I was like, I just can't. And I'm just like, I'm going to lay down on the couch and watch a movie with my kids. And I did that, and guess what? Everyone lived. And here we are folding laundry. This is productive, right? So just trusting God is always, always, always something that I have to remember to do. And the last thing that I've been learning, which has been absolutely mind-blowing, if you'll check back, I'll put it in the description if I can remember. A few months ago, I did a video on the importance of biblical fellowship and like Christian community and surrounding yourself with people. And, you know, like, through COVID, it was really easy to just kind of take a step back. Okay, hold on. My kid's pocket. Nerf bullet. Anyone? Can you? Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, I just felt like, or during COVID, it was so easy to just, oh, we're going to watch church from home and we can't go anywhere. And for recluses like me, I'm like, I can't go anywhere. This is great. I can just stay home with my people and not have to get social, and it's great. But I saw the negative side effects of that, even for someone like me who enjoys that. I really saw how much it was hurting us as a family to, sorry, I'm trying to find, okay, well, hopefully I'm not missing comments. It was hurting. Yes, Katie, so good. And like, I saw how much our family needed that fellowship and that community. And I feel like ever since, like, things have started opening back up and stuff, people are still like, oh, but it was much easier not to have these relationships and not to have to do all the things. And I agree, it was nice to slow down for a while, but there was really something lacking with that face-to-face contact. And so this week I have seen, I told you guys I'm gonna try not to cry, but I probably will. I have seen community that I didn't even realize was there come around our family and bless us in ways that I couldn't have imagined. And you know how, like, I mean, I don't know, you guys all have different lives and everything, but you know, I knew I had a few people who, like, if I really needed something, I would call them and they'd be there. But I've had people bless us that didn't have to, that weren't my people that I would typically call. You know, the first day that I got back from St. Louis with my sister, you know, my husband had gotten a fever the night before, and so I was like, you just stay in your room because I don't know what it is. He got tested and it was COVID, but once we found out it was COVID, one of my sisters, I can't remember what, I don't know. Oh, she came to get something. She had something in my house and I left it out on the porch for her. And she had left like bags of goodies on my door. And I started sobbing, which is partially the hormones, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not a crier typically. And I was just like, you know, she didn't have to do that. Like, it was stuff for my kids to do to keep my kids busy. It was a Coke because that's my coping drink. And it was just such a little thing, but it was such a big blessing just to feel seen and cared for. Then another one of my good friends called the next day and she's like, what do you need? I'm going to the store right now. What are you out of? What do you need? And I actually was out of coffee and toothpaste, which are both pretty vital things to have. And so she brought me coffee and toothpaste and every one of my family a Sonic drink. Now in the Midwest, that's kind of how we say I love you or I'm thinking of you or thank you or anything. And so that was a super big blessing, and just, again, to feel loved and seen. And thank you, Anna. And then a few days ago, I'm getting ready to go, I think, on a walk with my kids because we had to be outside somewhere. And I opened the door and there's a literal mountain of Amazon boxes. And my sister who's getting married lives a long ways away, but she's getting married here. And so she's been sending like wedding decor and stuff to my house, which is fine. But I was kind of hoping she would put a hold on doing that until after we moved, because that's just more stuff that I have to move. And so I opened the door and I'm like, oh my gosh, like so much stuff that I'm gonna have to like find a place for, and you know, all this stuff. But I bring it in and I'm like, what is all this? And I open it and it is a bunch of stuff from my friends that I've met through YouTube, and you probably know their channels. I will put them down in the description box too. They were all, a lot of them were in my vlog when I went to Florida, okay? But it was snacks and my favorite drink, snacks for me, snacks for the kids. It was easy lunches, easy breakfasts. It was paper products so that I didn't have to do dishes, which thank you, Lord. It was, you know, games for my kids, and one of them sent like this big giant cardboard castle, and so all day long my kids were building shields and swords and crowns and fighting each other. And then someone else got like a dartboard with like Velcro things to throw at it. Well, then they started using the Velcro things. They built 2 forts and used their swords and shields and were throwing the Velcro things like bombs, and I don't know, it was a whole thing. They were in their own world. But it was great because then I got to pack some more without being interrupted. And it was just such a huge blessing. And I have girls from my community group at church texting all the time, how are you guys doing? What can I bring you? What do you need? I mean, it's just like overwhelming almost. And then, you know, probably one of the biggest surprises of all is Anna, who's on here right now. Yes, it is a wonderful blessing. So she and I have known each other through YouTube for a while, but not like super intimately. Just here and there we've chatted, and we accidentally ran into each other at Target last week. And because we knew we lived close-ish to each other and we were planning to meet up, and it just hadn't happened yet. And I saw her and met her for like, talked to her for like 5 or 10 minutes maybe total. And but she was just as sweet as she is on her channel, so definitely I'll link her down below. Check her out. And like, she had messaged me and she's like, what can I do for you? And she wanted to bring us a meal, and I was like, no, like we live close, but not like close. It's not like a 10-minute drive, okay? It's pretty big distance. And I was like, no, like that's a long ways, whatever. And she kind of mommed me, and she's like, I don't care how far it is, I want to bring you a meal. And so I was like, yes, ma'am. So I said, sure, you know, bring us dinner, that's fine. This lady came, you guys, I'm gonna try not to cry. She came with 3 fully cooked meals with sides and snacks and breakfasts and flowers. Like, I was just like speechless, honestly. Because little did I know, that very day that she was bringing it is when one of my kids, I don't know if he actually had COVID, but he ran a fever for a little bit. He's fine now. But he was down and out that day, and then I started not feeling good that day, and it was just such a blessing to just like, here's dinner, and I didn't have to do anything. And then last night when I was feeling really, really bad, all I had to do was pop the next meal in the microwave and pull it out, and there was dinner again. And that's another thing the Lord is teaching me, is that, like, yes, he wants me to serve. Yes, he wants me to be his hands and feet and love on people, but I need to let people do that for me also. And that has been a struggle my whole life. My parents always wanted to help people out, and anytime they actually needed help and people wanted to help, they wouldn't let them. I don't know if that's a pride thing or whatever, but I do the same thing. It's like, no, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And would I have figured it out? Sure, I could have thrown together some dinner. But just letting people come around you and bless you, even if you don't want to let people do that. You know, that cheesy saying, we're blessed to be a blessing. And, you know, Anna let me know afterwards, like, thank you for letting me do that. It was a blessing to us to get to bless you. And, you know, I know that's true, because there's been times when I've had, you know, friends who have lost family members and are dealing with funeral arrangements and all this stuff, and I've brought them breakfast and lunch and dinner, and I was just so happy to do that for them. And so to let others do the same for you is, I mean, it may hurt your pride, but that's okay. Like, that's being part of the body, you know. In Romans, it talks about us being all part of one body with Christ as the head. And, you know, if you get a cut on your pinky finger, you're going to fix that bad boy up. You're not just going to let it bleed out, okay? And so when other parts of the body want to come and take care of you, you have to let it happen. And then when, you know, another part is hurt and needing something, that's when you step up and you become the hands and feet and you become the help. I don't know. It was such a beautiful picture of the very thing that I was talking about a few months ago in that video. And it was so tangible. And, you know, most of these girls, they didn't say, you know, can I help you? They said, I'm going to help you. Tell me what you need. And even if I didn't tell them what I needed, they just sent me stuff, or they just dropped stuff off. And sometimes you have to do that, because some people are going to say, oh no, we're fine. We don't want anything. We don't want to be a burden. And you just have to say, okay, well, I'm going to get creative and bless you somehow. And that's what these girls did. And it like knocked my socks off. I was so impressed and so grateful to the Lord for such wonderful friends. So that is kind of what I've been learning. If we enjoy the martyrdom, yeah. I mean, sometimes we might. And I think that still is a symbol of pride. You know, that's, I don't know. I think it all boils down to pride. Where are her kingdom helpers? Yep, they're here. They're here. And I've had so many people say, if you weren't quarantined, I would come in and pack for you. I've had so many people say that. I'm like, I know, it's okay. But I have people coming to help us actually move. So that'll be great. And we had to reschedule my 20-week ultrasound at my doctor's office. At 20 weeks is when you do the anatomy scan. You find out gender, you look for, you know, any markers for any serious disorders or anything. And that was supposed to be yesterday. So yesterday was kind of a sad day for me, because I just kept thinking like, oh, we would already have that done today, you know, all this stuff. And then because of my anxiety, I'm sitting here thinking, well, that's a missed doctor's appointment. 'Cause they just said for my regular doctor's appointment that was also yesterday, supposed to be yesterday. They just said, well, when someone has COVID in their house, we just nix that appointment and you come in on your next one. And so then my anxiety is like, well, now you're sick and now you're going an extra month without a prenatal visit. Like, what if something's wrong? And, I've had to learn to just pray and trust God, like I said before. So yeah, that was a long, rambly way of telling you what's been going on in my life and how God has been speaking to me through all of that. But just know that He is faithful, and that, He not only provides, but, hey, Jennifer, He provides in every way. He provides financially, He provides in our health, even when there are sicknesses in your house, He always makes a way. And, He gives you friends, and He gives you sisters in Christ for a reason. And I don't know, He's just so good. He's so, so good to me. And I just can't imagine, like, I sit back and think sometimes when I'm struggling and I'm like, this may seem bad, but what would this seem like without the hope of the gospel? Like, what would this feel like then? And it would be scary. It'd be scary and it would be hard. But knowing the hope I have in Christ, I know that this is just a season, and it might take August or September before life starts to feel a little normal. And then, yes, His glory, and all of it. It might take till September before things kind of like, we're in our new house and we're getting settled in and whatever. And then November comes and I have a new baby, and then it's all crazy again. But in every season, crazy, calm, good, bad, He is good and He is faithful. So I think I'm going to wrap this up because it's been going on over 20 minutes and I typically do not make videos this long. So I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check when I add the description here in a second. Check out all the girls that I listed. They are the real deal, and you do not want to miss their channels. They are dear friends of mine. So I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.